Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're now tuning in to the Gamerholics Game Time Podcast.
Yes,
Gamerholics.
sir. Yes, sir.
Here, Excalibur, and followed by my gaming comrades. Make yourselves known. I'm gonna start with you, Jay.
Yeah, well, I gotta go first, man. I mean, yeah, but that is Jay Shade in the fucking building. We're back. Let's get it cracking.
All right, then next up we have the Sarge himself.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Sarge, aka Still in the building. We out here.
All right,
right.
think about it. The name stuff do go with you.
You feel me? Queen Brieze up in here. On the
Yeah, she's
sticks.
working on
The
one,
queen.
two.
The queen.
Me on the sticks.
Now, with that being said, let's get right into it. So as we know, from a week from now, there will be an award show hosting by the VGAs themselves that they do annually, and we're just gonna go through a rundown of our own opinions for our certain nominees, and yeah, they're just gonna do this damn thing. So getting right into it. Actually, before we do that, I want to know what games y'all been playing this past week, and I'm gonna start with you, Sarge, because I think you've been on that Halo pretty heavy.
Man, look, I've been on Halo for, 62 hours now?
Ooh,
Whoa.
let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, 62 hours in Halo, but now I'm kind of taking a break from that, waiting for the campaign, so I'm going back to like Flight Sim and playing Chorus too, so if y'all ain't
Alright,
checked out Chorus, go check out Chorus.
Alright.
Hey man, Sarge, I ain't messing with you with the Halo just yet. I'm still, I don't know what rank you at, but I just got out of gold 5. I mean, how is it go up or down? So what, I'm gold 3, or it could be
Okay, if you're gold, it goes 1 to 6. And whenever you hit that 7, then you go to the next rank. So if you're gold, you got to get
Go
to
yes, I'm like gold 5. I started off at gold 5 in my preliminaries because I haven't been playing much. But I'm gonna be up there with you soon, man, Mr. 60,
Man.
62 hours. Shit,
62
60.
hours.
that's good.
Look, and I'm in the
Full-time
sweaty league
job.
because Diamond is rough.
I
Dang.
He said the sweaty league.
shine
Bruh.
bright like a brother. So I'm gonna pass it to Jay, man. What you been playing, man? I know you've been playing that Battlefield. I'm pretty sure.
Of course, I have put over 90 hours in Battlefield. I've been playing the fuck out of Battlefield on the PS4 and the PS5. But yeah,
My man,
beta field.
playing 90 hours.
It's beta field right now. You know, you got this dumbass battle pass coming up, so they put all the content on the battle pass. So we did missing a lot of content, but it's still a great game to me. I enjoy it. I'm a big Battlefield fan. I've been playing Battlefield since Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, fuck
Yes.
Battlefield 5, fuck Battlefield 1. But yeah, ever since then, I've been playing Battlefield.
Basically speaking, you want the Modern Warfare
Yeah.
in the Battlefield, right?
Yeah, I'm tired of old school. That's why I didn't get Vanguard. I don't want to play that.
Yeah, I
That shit, man.
guard myself. Although I did, succumb to Gold War, which was very woefully short, and then I just dodged the bullet on Vanguard. Screw that. So we got a Queen Breezy. What?
Man, I have been putting nail, tooth, foot, thumb, and trying to get through Act 2 of Back for Blood. Shout out to Murray. Shout out to Adam, my folks, Wolfpack, man, because I have been playing Act 2. I don't even know how many hours. Y'all know how many hours y'all motherfucker playing. All I know is that motherfucker took all month. Okay. And
The whole month on one act?
on what? I swear.
Oh, yeah, it'd be like that. I was on Act 1 for a long time.
I swear to God. I was so mad I even had to put it down for I didn't want to play for 3-4 days. It was that real. So I finally got through Act 2. Took 3 weeks. I haven't put down the game for a week. Huh?
Got a lot of cards at your disposal, huh? Getting ready for that nightmare. They say that shit's tough now.
Man, if I could get through recruit, I gotta get through recruit first.
Yeah,
I'm on Act 3 and I ain't started.
It's only gonna get tougher.
See, that's all. Yeah, you need a squad to play with. I'll say the community is cool so far from what I experienced, but then it's not, because a lot of people don't like to communicate, and that's a game you need to communicate on. people get mad, they
Absolutely.
get angry, they go down, they leave, mess your game up, and you got to start all over from the beginning. It's just like, damn it, these achievements and
Yeah.
making it hard to get through, get past, get finished. It's very challenging, but I enjoy it. So that's what
You
I've
know,
been playing.
and I came to notice that a lot of people in that game, and when it comes to not only they don't communicate, they're very frantic. You know what I mean? Like they're very scared to like, yo, just shoot them.
Now I had, I,
Nothing to lose. Just shoot them.
I think people was being more like aggressive than anything. I had one dude say like, "Damn these damn console players," and I guess he's playing on PC. But I'm like, wait a minute, you had to play through Xbox in order to play with me, stupid. Like I'm confused. I'm done with this. Let me put this game down because y'all irritating the fuck out of me. So yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
All right. Now we got that out the way. As we know, again, the VGAs are around the corner. On December 9th, tune in. We'll be tuning in as well on our own time. But we're just gonna get through these couple of topics first at hand. Our best action game, and I wanna cover this with my girl Brieze because I know she like her action games as well as I do.
We just talk about this goddamn game.
I knew it. I knew it.
Shit. Best action game, my ass. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. Basketball Boy shouldn't be in that category, but yeah.
Man, you know what? I haven't even
Uh,
started
I
Far
like
Cry
it.
6. So I
Go for it.
I haven't. I like it. I like Back for Blood. I really do because I can jump in, jump out, play. Even if I don't make it through the whole act, it's fast. It's fast paced. If I have 2 hours to devote to getting through it, then I can do so. If not, it's all good. Um, I'll be honest. Like I have Far Cry sitting. I have not started it yet, and I have an OCD problem. Like I'm still on 5. I'm almost done with 5, and I don't want to start 6 until I finish 5. Even though I know it's a whole different storyline, a whole different game.
Yeah.
I'm really just like I'm
Well,
trying.
Far Cry is a long game though, so you gotta take your time with that anyway.
Really do, really do. But I gave my vote as far as like best action game, and I did go for Back for Blood because that's all the fuck I was playing. So.
So before I pass it over to Jay on this topic, going back to Far Cry, and I played a lot of Far Cry in my lifetime, and with Blood Dragon expansion, however, oddly enough, being one of the best versions that I played and experienced, I just feel like with Far Cry, man, like they try to do so much, but it's so vague at the same time. Like, oh, you got to capture this stronghold, capture this stronghold. So yeah, that's why it may feel elongated, but at the same time, it gets complacent for me.
Yeah, it's repetitive, definitely, just in a different zone. I can agree with that. I one of the ones that I haven't tried Blood Dragon yet, and I own it. I'm gonna play it. I'm on 5 right now, and I really like the storyline. Like, Ubisoft really does not disappoint when it comes to creating a storyline, and
Absolutely.
I believe, like, with Far Cry 6, it's going to be wonderful, especially with Gian Esposito in it. He just does great acting, period. So I know he's going to bring that role to life. But Far Cry just has like the best storylines to me, even though the side missions are repetitive, and you're just trying to level up and get stronger and unlock skills. Yeah, I just think
That
it's
story, yeah, that definitely hits home because the cinematic part of the game,
yeah,
it makes it feel like if they didn't have all the side quests and strongholds involved,
yeah.
like this could turn out to be like a cinematic film if they wanted to.
If they
They could
wanted
actually
to,
do this sponsored by Netflix for God knows what.
yeah, it's deep. Their storylines are really immersive and deep. So I think Far Cry 6 is gonna be great. I don't know if it's gonna win against Returnal. I heard a lot of good things about Returnal.
Yeah,
Seen a
I
lot of
also
great
did.
gameplay.
So
Sarge.
I'm gonna pass it over to my boy Jay Shady. What is your thoughts and opinions on best action?
Honestly, I'm a real guy. I haven't played neither one of these games.
It's real.
I
Wait,
saw gameplay
these
of that
games,
game. I didn't play
action
none of
games,
the games.
bro?
Returnal was not a game I was interested in because of the gameplay. It's not a game I would play. That's not a game I play. But I heard it's a great game, but it's not a game I will play. Only games I will play in this category is Back for Blood and Far Cry 6. Deathloop look, I don't know. It's not something I'll play either. But hey, it's action.
Yeah, we
Returnal
got
has
some.
great action. Back for Blood no got great action. Other than everything else, I wouldn't say contest those two games. It's either between Black for Blood or Returnal. Action game.
All right. Sound good. Sound good. So next up, we got Sarge. Before I give off my next opinion and move on, what are your thoughts and brother?
Look, we just gonna cut all the bullshit out here. We gonna go and get that best action to Returnal.
Yes, Returnal, yeah.
If you want to get your Twitch reflexes on point, you go play Returnal. But no, on a serious note, having played Returnal, it makes you feel like a god when you go against a boss with a pistol and just decimate them. Like you go through all this struggle and you just have to make a decision like, do I want to take this gun or do I want to take this pistol? Let me take this pistol. I legit had to restart a run because something screwed me up and all I could find for the rest of that time was a pistol. I went through that whole... Wait, say that again?
So I was gonna sorry for cutting you off, man. My question was, so as far as these weapons go, are they like random drops in the world?
They are. So let's say when you start off the game, right?
Okay.
The first area you're only gonna get like a pistol and the assault rifle. Then once you get to the second area, then it'll start dropping like the shotgun, the assault rifle, another gun, and every time. So when you restart a loop, then you'll start seeing those weapons, those higher tier weapons start dropping in the first area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I get all the way up to Biome 5, and that's where you find the most OP gun there is possible. It's called an Electro Pylon Driver. This thing literally makes a trap. Like, you shoot one spot and you shoot another spot, and it just makes a line that connects. Anything that it hits, it just deals damage. And you could just literally make like a spider web of these things, and it just murks everything in the whole area.
That sounds pretty bonkers.
So, it is. Let's say I took out a boss in a minute and 5 seconds with this damn thing. Like, dropped into the air. Look, dropped into the area, seen the boss, pop, 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 and just walked away. Boss just got fried.
Stage complete.
Yeah, like all three phases of the boss fried off that one gun.
Shrimp
And that's the
rice.
thing. Look, and the thing about it is the guns have alternate fires that sometimes pop off. So if you get the right build, you could have a gun that does consistent damage that'll summon out this thing called a portal beam that literally acts like a turret and hits anything that it spots. So it's literally just zapping stuff across the map. You don't even see it. It's like, what in the hell is going on? But the whole time you're sitting here dodging bullets that's coming at you from God knows where. So you're like, dodge here, jump up, do this, slash here, go here, zip over here. So you are constantly moving when you're fighting. You're not staying still.
That's why I wouldn't play it, man. I mean,
I
there's
can
too much
understand.
going on. Keep moving around, keep
That's what
shooting.
makes it a bona fide action game. You want constant movement and excitement. You want to feel, empowered and all of this, crazy stuff going on.
But yeah, if I was gonna give my pick, it's gonna be Returnal. I got Deathloop, but the little bit of time I put in the Deathloop, it didn't impress me. Back for Blood, I only played the alpha, so I can't really get opinion on that. So yeah, I'm giving it to Returnal.
All right. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on the nominee for best action, and I'm also gonna go for Back for Blood because my time spent on Back for Blood it's pretty exciting so far. Every time I play it, yeah, you had your you have your up and downs with the people that you join in with, but you can also play it solo, and even with the solo play, you still, benefits from those, that action that you feel when you jump in. And for me, for action games, I like to keep it real simple. Back for Blood just has that simplicity. They don't have too much in depth, other than your usual cards and how you make your builds, because you also make builds in that game as well. Depending on what deck you use, you could be either like a melee build. You could have something for a shotgun build, AR build. It gets very, very intricate, but it's still simple. So I just jump in anytime I want to, get my daily fix, I would say, and I just rock out. Um, and like I was saying before, as you progress in the game in Back for Blood, it gets harder, even if on the lowest difficulty. So I'm definitely getting my vote for Back for Blood, and we're gonna move on to the best RPG nominee. I mean, excuse me, the best fighter nominee. And I'm gonna turn my opinions and thoughts over to Sarge once again, just to mix it up a little bit. I don't know if you're intrigued by fighting games. Cause I don't think you was ever a fan of that type of genre. But let's hear what you got to say.
Oh man, you would have to put me on fighters, but that's all right. That's cool. That's cool because I got a good friend that loves fighters, and y'all probably have heard of the online arcade. If y'all haven't, they were a big thing. They had a bunch of the pro players on there. They got recognized for doing the thing in the fighting community. But
Yeah, I heard that.
I will say other selection that we have with Demon Slayer, Guilty Gear, Melty Blood, Nickelodeon, and Virtual Fighter. Based on what I have seen, Demon Slayer follows that Naruto Ninja Storm formula, the whole assist system, simple mechanics, but can be very advanced once you tie everything together. Guilty Gear, long running fighting game franchise, is still going strong. They keep improving it. Melty Blood is the only new one that I have not, really messed with or seen, but I know people that play it. Nickelodeon, let's just call it the Smash Brothers clone because that's what it's trying to be.
That's
And
right.
Virtual Fighter 5.
It's
If
not a
I'm gonna
Smash
give,
clone.
it's okay. It's an arena
Smash
fight.
a clone.
Look, it's an arena fighter. We know what it's trying to be now. We know what it's trying to be.
Let's say arena fighter. Smash is a clone too. Let's go back to the arcade.
You're right, but I'm just saying, Smash is the game that everybody looks at. So when you see something that looks like Smash, Brawlhalla,
Yeah.
you got DC Multiverses coming out, you got Nickelodeon All Stars, you had PlayStation All Stars.
There you go.
Everything was a Smash clone. Like, I'm just saying, like, Smash is what put that type of fighting on the map, regardless of what came before it. Smash is the one that cemented it. So everything from now on is a Smash clone. But me being the person that I am, I love Virtual Fighter since Virtual Fighter 2, and I played it on PC with keyboard and mouse.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
I don't play a fighter with keyboard and mouse.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was.
I'm actually wow.
That was the back in the day.
That was a thing. That was a thing on Virtual Fighter on PC. You could actually legit play it with a keyboard and mouse.
Most of the key.
Yeah.
Oh man, I never heard of that. I thought you needed a controller for that.
Virtual Fighter.
Well, okay, think about it like this: the way you had
experience.
Well, think about it like this: the way you have a fight stick, your keyboard was the fight stick.
Right.
The same thing.
Right.
Except instead of you having the analog, joystick, you had the up, down, left, right, or you had WASD, however you set it up. So yeah, you could literally set it up to where your number pad was your directions or how you move.
That's what's up.
But Virtual Fighter for me has always been that fighter to where I'm not good at fighting games, but Virtual Fighter makes me feel good because you can actually learn it. You can break it down. You can be like, okay, you just can't do a lot of button spam. You actually got to sit down and learn the flow.
Learn combos. Yeah. Yeah. The
True.
timing has to
True.
be perfect. It has to.
Yeah.
It really is based off of timing. I suck at fighting games, so I don't. I mean, playing Virtual Fighter back on PC. I agree. That was like the easiest time I played. It was like in the arcade. I didn't really do well because, like you trying to hit the joystick and mug might be
Mm-hmm.
broken, so you can't round your combos right. And it'll never complete because everybody else done messed up. So it's just yeah.
And then taking your quarters while you getting your ass whooped.
Get my ass.
That is not
Two quarters.
Taking my quarters to the Pac-Man
For
machine. Screw
real,
this.
shoot. Arcade's expensive when they want 4 quotas. It's too much.
Woo! I
For me,
avoided those machines. I was like,
personally,
I'm going to Dig Dug and Gallagher. I'm going.
Dig Dug.
Dig that was fun though, man.
Yeah,
Dig
that's
Dug.
the game.
Until you get up to like level 30 something.
Yeah, get hard. Dig that was the game, man. I love Dig though, man. But yeah, me personally though, man, fighting game not my something I play either. But I'll play Mortal Kombat. I'll play Street Fighter. I love the hell out of Tekken. Tekken was so fucking easy. Just like Virtual Fighter. Tekken was the easiest fucking game you can play out there. Street Fighter was easy too, but Tekken was my game. But I just category all these games are trash. Virtual Fighter is trash. Demon Slayer, Guilty Gear is trash.
Oh,
If I
bad.
had to choose, I'll play Nickelodeon just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
With my
I
son or
would.
some shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, these games are fucking trash. Man. We need Mortal Kombat to come back. We need the top level fighting games to come back, man. These games are fucking trash, man.
Wait a minute. You saying Guilty Gear ain't no top level fighting game?
Guilty Gear is
Yeah.
trash.
That's what's
I
making
love
me
Guilty Gear also.
mind
Trash.
right now. Because if I had to pick out of all of these choices, I'm going with Guilty Gear because they actually
Nickelodeon
over
better,
the
man.
because I started off on Guilty Gear Double X Reloaded, right? And that was back
Right.
360 days, man. And let me tell you, the online capability wasn't so hot. So coming into the present day, and they have rollback net code is just a fresh breath air for me, man. And wow. Also, what Guilty Gear brings to the table is the new upgraded cinematics and the designs that they have for their characters. Because every installment of Guilty Gear, it's been more of the same designs, and it's good that they made them more mature as they go along with the series, and it's not as overly complicated as it was back in the day because you had so many buttons and so many commands. And now that I think the game that started this was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they made it a little bit more simpler, or
I love Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
That's exciting games. Where's that at?
Capcom number 2.
You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
my
We just
god.
another guys, y'all kind of fucked up on Infinite, but I think Marvel kind of set that tone to make it easier for people to use, auto combos, and they kind of down the skill level, the skill ceiling a little bit, so to kind of fit everybody into that mold. So whether you could be a beginner and just have fun with it, because it's not so a combo in depth, or you don't mind for these people that are pro in the scene that actually go deep into a character and learn some advanced techniques too. So that's why I'm going with Guilty Gear. Their story is still more or less the same, but I definitely like where the history of their upbringing has brought them. Alrighty. So with that being said, our next nominee will be best multiplayer, and I'm gonna hand over the best multiplayer mic over to my girl Brieze, and I'm pretty sure it may probably be Back for Blood. That's just my hint, because I've been rocking it out for some time, and it's been, doing me so well.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna have to. It's hard. It's really hard out of these categories. Number one, Knockout City. When Knockout City dropped, it was hot.
It was
Like
hot, yeah.
I spent time binking people in the face so many times,
Bink,
like
bink.
hitting it, just learning how to hit the combos, just getting in there and play. Knockout City had the best, I would say, starting multiplayer coming out.
I agree because like when that what it was the beta
Oh,
or
the
the demo,
beta, people were eating the beta
yeah,
up, like,
I-
and they dropped it for free, which was nice. Well, of course, all demos are free,
Yeah.
but and all betas are free. But it was just nice that it was I don't know, they didn't charge you for an unfinished product. You get what I'm saying? Not until afterward, and then afterward when it was time to go on sale, like if you were, for instance, playing on Xbox, all you had to pay was $8.20 to upgrade to the full game. You get what I'm saying?
right.
PlayStation, it was 19.99, in which I felt 19.99 was a very great price for what they delivered. It was yeah, I thought that Knockout City might win best multiplayer just because it's really, it was fun. It was fun to me. I think it'll win more than Back for Blood because you get more frustrated in Back for Blood, and it's a lot in the Back for Blood communities. Like a lot of people are frustrated and putting the game down because they cannot get past Act 2. Turtle Rock, I don't know what y'all doing, but they are messing with whatever patch they made. They messing with a lot of people, making a lot of people mad, making it damn near impossible to pass. Not impossible. It's just I've come to the conclusion that they're really forcing you to play with each other. Like you're gonna have to depend on somebody. You're gonna have to depend on your
That's how it
teammate.
should be, though. It should be like
It
that.
right, right, and it should be, but it's like, yeah, you don't depend on that person, you're not going to get past Act 2, and like I said, it
Well,
took
yeah,
me a whole
you need
month
a
just to
squad.
get past that.
You need a squad.
Yeah, you really do. I do want to make a point on Valheim. A lot of people, I think, sleep on Valheim. It's a tight game. I have
I, I,
fun with
I
it.
don't know. I heard a lot of buzz on Valheim. I never got into it myself, but
You
it's kind of
need
like that
people.
ESO type of multiplayer. You know, people because when you say I'm playing ESO right now, you're just like, nah, I'd rather play Skyrim.
Right.
But at the same
Right.
time, if you got like 4 people playing ESO with you, you're just like, all right, I'll probably tune in. I'll
Nah,
tap
not
in.
me. Not me. I can't. I think ESO is a slap in the face. I don't see how that should even competes. People was going
But
crazy over it, spending
on
every
such
new
a
goddamn
the
season. Nah, I don't understand that one. I'm sorry. I was disappointed. I was excited for ESO. I really was. Pre-ordered
right.
all the shit, and then I got it, and I was just like, this is like playing Onigiri on one of those
Not on a
free.
Geary.
What?
Yes, this good.
Jeez.
Everybody running around and shit,
Oh
like
man.
massive. Like they took MMO to the. Oh, it's really an MMO. Like, you know what? I had hopes for that. I thought I was gonna have the feel of Skyrim. Real talk. Like
Yeah.
I think if Skyrim could have been co-op, just how it was developed, and I think if ESO would follow that, I could. I would never put that game down. Now Valheim, I enjoyed it, even though you need people to play with. You can build by yourself. It's going to take a long time. You can explore by yourself, but having a community, if you have a set community to play with, it's really really fun, and the things that you can create and the environment you can go up against. I think it's going to be one of those games that are around to stay, mostly for PC players because it's in the PC community. And yeah,
Shout out to the people.
yeah, it's a great game. I think so. Yeah. So
For
you
me
asked me.
personally, I'm going with Knockout City. I feel like Knockout City will win this, or it Take Two. In between those two, Knockout City and it Take Two. The only two games I see winning this category. They've been a soft year for gaming, in my opinion. A very soft year.
Here we go. Here
Oh,
we go.
But I'm gonna get to that at the end of this podcast about why it's so soft. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's in between Knockout City and Take Two.
need to diversify your perspectives out here, sir.
Here we go.
But if Um, again, I'm gonna go with the one that I actually played. It Takes Two. That game was surprisingly refreshing, to say the least. And it was so funny because after me and my friend beat It Takes Two, we went back and beat No Way Out. And we was like, bruh, this man actually puts out great games and everybody just kind of, overlooks them. But those two games right there, I'm like, yeah, they should, if there was a multiplayer, if they got nominated, they should get it because he actually fuses a whole bunch of genres, especially in It Takes Two, because he took like your normal perception of what a co-op game is and really made you have to rely on your partner to get through it. It wasn't just like, oh, y'all are going through it together. No, you literally have to work together. If you do not, you're not beating the game.
Yeah.
It's like, because I always remember when you're escaping the squirrels and one person's up top fighting the squirrel while the other person's up there actually having to guide the glider through the tree. And when we first did it, I was up there thinking, oh, okay, I'm just going to watch this fight happen and, the glider. No, I forgot I had to actually pilot the dang glider and we crashed it. And it was like, oh, so I'm not being, inactive the whole time. I'm actually being interactive, even though I'm not technically doing the fight. I still have to make sure the stage actually goes through like it's supposed to. So I'm like, that's what's up. But I feel like It Takes Two is that type of co-op game. It could be with like you and your wife, you and your whoever, you and a good friend. Y'all just have fun with it. You go through, you laugh, you witness the most savage moment in gaming history in this whole year. Because if y'all know about the elephant, Lord have mercy. That I feel sorry for that elephant. I'm sorry, elephant. You didn't have to go out like that, but it was so funny.
To a legend.
Oh man, but yeah, that's my pick. But I honestly, that's my pick. But I think Monster Hunter is probably gonna take it. That's just me being honest.
Yeah, and I'ma agree with you with that Monster Hunter pick. Although I really had a really fun time with Knockout City too. I just, it didn't last long. It was woefully short because when you with friends and you just smacking people up for round and round, it just kind of stale because you just like, damn, every match is so easy. And I'm pretty sweaty on Knockout City. Don't even get me wrong. And we can go for like hours just slapping people up.
Tough.
And then when you're solo, it's literally the other way around because you can't carry every random that you encounter, right? However, going back over to Monster Hunter World, there is so much customization surrounding this game, and the fact that you can be in with 4 people simultaneously with this beautiful open world or format that Capcom has going on. When it first came out, I paid no attention to it. But as it started to progress, with Monster Hunter Rise, I was just like, wow, man, maybe this game is actually gonna be something. Because I even tried out, let's say, Dauntless, and Dauntless is just not on the same level. Um, it has the action, it has the movement and the combat down pat. It did have a couple of bugs where you'll go under the game sometimes. It was like mini bugs, so it's one of those RPG element based games that you have so much going for it. But over the years, they also hot fixed those as they went along. Capcom has been on a roll this year. Well, the past 2 years actually, and yeah, that's what the pick I'm gonna go with. Monster Hunter World. Yeah, you got my vote.
And
That,
I would say, Steven, before we move on, I will like to give an honorable mention to a game that's not on this list,
all right.
but when it actually goes out of out of early access, Arcade Again.
Arcade Again. Yeah, tell me more about this. I never heard about this.
Okay, Arcade Again takes the whole notion of a co-op experience and you going through a horde shooter, right?
Okay.
But it gives you the option because when you start out on level 1, the difficulty is fairly easy, right? As you progress, it naturally goes up. So let's say you're on like the 10th stage. Okay, now you're on like difficulty 5 or whatever. Well, when you hit a checkpoint, if you got enough tokens saved up, you can amp up the difficulty, get better rewards, but you can keep amping it up, and everybody can go in there, toss their little tokens in, drop up that difficulty like 5 different times. Now, instead of you going to like a relatively mild area, you getting bombarded with all types of nonsense. But everything is reset once you get out of that. What, like, if you lose, you reset back to square one. But the drive is always to get the high score because you're literally playing a co-op arcade game with a leaderboard that says, hey, this team is the high score for the week. Like, can you beat them?
Is this will this be on all platforms?
It's currently on Epic and PlayStation as of right now, but I think after like whatever their little exclusive time deal is, it'll be on all platforms. But as of right now, it's just, Epic and PlayStation. So I would say
you have to search to get them for my PlayStation
Yeah.
because I've actually been wanting to play my PlayStation for quite some time.
I would say give Arcade Again a try. You got a whole bunch of wacky weapons. They got one that's where literally if you stick somebody with it, you'll blow them up like a balloon and they'll pop. But it'll do an AoE explosion, so anybody caught around them also takes some damage.
The splash damage, yeah.
You take the splash damage. They got ricochet buzzsaw blades. You got quad rockets. You got regular assault rifles. You got magnums. You got sniper rifles. You got rockets that bounce and do all types of stuff. You got grenade launchers that stick. When I say you got a lot of weapons, you got a lot of weapons. Plus, you can customize your character because it's a third-person shooter. It's kind of set up in the way of Returnal where when you're in the action, you're in the action. And there's never really a dull moment unless you're transitioning. So just a shout out for people that don't know about it. Arcade Again. Go check it out.
Make sure y'all tune into that Arcade Again, man. We gonna move it right along. And we're gonna go from best multiplayer over to best RPG. And this is an intricate subject nominee for me, because the RPG category for me has been a little bit oversaturated, I would say. You have Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Megami Tensei 5, Persona 5, in this beautiful series that it had. Out of all those ones that they have nominated, I would go with Shin Megami, because Nintendo did this series fairly well. When it comes to in terms of the depth and the playability, my mind want to say Monster Hunter, just because Capcom had pretty much the blueprint for this open world stuff. But like when you look at the combat that this Nintendo game has to offer, man, and like the progression system that it has too, it's almost like Persona-esque, but without the turn-based methods that it comes included with. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely put my vote into Shin Megami 5. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, man, but that's a weird name to begin with, all right? I'm gonna pass it over to my boy Sarge, man. What's your favorite RPG in this bunch?
Favorite RPG gonna have to definitely go to Tales of Arise this year. That game was amazing. And I say amazing because if you played any of the previous Tales games, they all been good.
Yeah.
But this is a Tales game that we have been literally waiting on them to do. and they did it superbly, like on all metrics. Like the action is great, the combat's great, the story is amazing. Like you'll be up there like, oh, okay, I figured out the story, and then they throw this curveball, and it's like, what the hell just happened?
And I'm pretty sure them cutscenes long as hell still hung. So
I mean, now here's the thing. They have a hefty amount of cutscenes. They got a hefty amount of dialogue. When I say they have dialogue, there's a trophy that I'm still hunting to where you gotta watch I think it's 308 of the dialogue scenes that they have throughout the game. I think I got like 260 something of them. But what those dialogue scenes do, they fill in the gaps. Like they'll express how a person's feeling or how this situation is. Like you get a lot of interaction between the characters instead of you just like going from point A to point B, doing this, defeating this bad guy, and keep it moving. It's like they express their feelings about certain things. Like, oh, such and such dad died. Like, I wonder how he's feeling. And he gets to talking about it, and he was like, I should have been there, but I wasn't there, and I felt betrayed. Like, it got deep. Like, you get invested with the characters. Now, Shin Megami Tensei is also a good pick, but that's one I have not personally played. I have played the previous ones, especially Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, because I got that on my PlayStation now. Actually, I gotta get the US version because I got the Japanese version on there.
It's region locked, I believe, right?
No, PlayStations aren't region locked. Of course, okay. Technically, I have 4 different PlayStation accounts. One for the United States. No, one for the United States, one for the UK, one for Asia, and one for Japan.
Interesting.
So, like, when everybody was like getting hyped for Persona 5, I was already playing Persona 5 because I bought it from the Japanese store. Before Judgment came out, I had Judgment already. Before Nier Automata came out, I literally beat the Asian version of Nier Automata because they had the Asian version, the Japanese version, and the American version all the same version. So you get English throughout all 3 versions.
Oh, okay. Because I'm saying, man, how is you progressing in this game? And they're all in Japanese, but it's accessible in different languages. That's cool.
No, but it's literally that was the one game I actually could beat. Like Persona 5, I think I got like about 30% way through before I put it down. That's when the American version released. And some games I just do it just to test drive. Like, am I gonna want to pick this up? So yeah, I'll triple dip sometimes on the game just to be like, let me test it out. Even though I really don't have to, but I still do it because it's there. I got access to it, so I go get it. Just like if I want to play for Phantasy Star Online 2, I just go to my Japanese account and download it.
Do you still have a Phantasy Star Online 2 or no?
I mean, I got it on my PC now, but if I want to play it on my PlayStation, I could just go back and re-download it. So it's there. But yeah, Tales of Arise, Cyberpunk shouldn't even be on this dang list. I'm sorry, people that like it.
Excuse me.
What? Look, I bought Cyberpunk. I'm just saying it should not even be on this list.
Hold on, why not?
At all.
Why not? Why not?
Do you want to intervene on this statement he's making?
Personally, well, I don't know. Let me just say this: I did not experience the bugs everybody experienced. I didn't experience really no problem. I experienced one bug. I did. I take that back. I experienced one bug. And that was when there was a rare, and I couldn't get it because your guy that died on you, he had a rare weapon on him, and you can see it right there. You just can't, reach out, but you can't get it. So that kind of messed me up a little bit. But I don't see how it's not. It was very good to me. Okay. I enjoyed it.
put it like this, Breeze. While I did enjoy what I did put in the Cyberpunk, I think I put like 40 hours in the Cyberpunk before I just completely put it down. I was, getting through the game. The bugs, they bothered me a little bit. Now I'm playing it on PC, so it wasn't extreme like it was on console.
Right.
The bugs, they were kind of funny sometimes, and some kind of just immersion breaking. They would just like totally take me out of that whole vibe. But then it was just like the audacity of the devs, or not the devs, but the company itself, to be like, let's just put this out here and then say, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, bro, I'm getting tired of this whole let's put stuff out and patch stuff later type mentality that we got in the industry. So I'm just like, if y'all would just bake the game a little bit longer,
correct.
I would have been like, okay, cool, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
agree.
just me.
I agree about a certain point when it came to them saying that it will be able to be played on both consoles, when they knew that they were just focusing on next gen. So to appease to the console players of PS4, Xbox One, I just thought that was it didn't make sense. Now I can understand if y'all want to put it out and then try to port it back. Okay, you know what I mean, or come with a different version for it for last gen. Yeah, I agree that, and a lot of people had not copped next gen yet when this came out, and it was highly anticipated. I mean, the game was being worked on for so long, So yes, they did disappoint everybody in that fashion, but I don't think what they did was different than anybody else that releases a game that's half done. To be real, I kind of.
Oh no, I get in the heat too, because I'll be like, oh, you put this out, trash, get out of my face.
I feel like
AKA
they tried to make up as a company by well, hey, we'll refund you your money, even though, like I said, I had next gen I had Xbox Series X, so I got to enjoy it. I even stopped playing it because I'm just waiting for that update to roll out, for that patch.
Yeah, me too. That's why I stopped playing the game.
I'm sorry, like it's still an anticipated game for me. Now that I do know how I put in 68 hours of that game. Now I do know that. And I wasn't even I wasn't even out of the like first section of the city. Like I said, my OCD, I'm going through all the mini games.
You was trying to do everything.
All the side quests. I'm trying to 100% this thing out. And it wasn't bad to me, like, oh my god, I'm getting tired of doing this. Nah, it was cool, even if I had to put it down. I even appreciated the loop music in the background. It was just calming and soothing, like, the intricate way of developing your character, how the different clothes they change their clothes. I mean, down from the hair. Let me say this, as far as making a custom character that appeases to me, yes, I am all about inclusion. My skin tone, my hair, everything, all of that matters to me. And then I also like Keanu Reeves, and I also like the concept of, they took all, like, kind of like a lot of movies he was in and put them all into a video game.
When you first played with him in that game, it was amazing.
I thought it was dope.
It was fucking amazing.
I thought it was dope, and I think that it didn't get a fair shake, and that I think that
Oh, no. It was fair. It was definitely fair.
Well, put it this way, you're all right. You still got games like one similar. Let's put Skyrim into this perspective. Skyrim, even to this day, with the new mods and stuff that it continues comes out with, it's plagued with bugs and glitches, right?
Yeah, but and it didn't even get that hate. It didn't get that hate. It didn't even get hate like this, like Cyberpunk got. And for real,
I think kind of like tainted the effectiveness on this nominees, right? Is just the fact that they kind of went against their word with all the anticipation and the build up they had over the years, right? So people are very heartbroken when this game dropped.
Right. Hey, y'all, shout out to Chris. Chris says he loves us. Y'all, just want to put that out there. We love you too, Chris. Y'all check out his work.
What up, Chris?
Chris G.
Hopefully you make the next one, my guy. Hope you
You
get it.
got
Yeah,
you.
better
Yeah,
see.
we love you too. But yeah, just to share right quick, he said Cyberpunk was a phenomenal game, but the false promises and issues at launch should take it off the list. So there he goes with you, Courtney. He agrees with
Yeah,
you on
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I had to take care of the kids real
yeah,
quick.
I'm in the middle with that too. I'm 50-50 with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had all the elements of a great game, man. I'm like a 50-50 with that fucking game. It's the only game I played in this category, but I played role playing games. I pick and choose. Like I like Persona 5. That's my favorite role playing game right to this day. Other than that, I really don't really play role playing games.
Mhm.
Monster Hunter is trash. I want to kill dinosaurs all game.
Eh,
Yeah,
Wait,
they get
wait,
on the
hold on. Wait,
I
kill
like Monster Hunter.
dinosaurs.
I
You
own
see,
Monster Hunter.
I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna say it.
I like Monster Hunter. I own Monster Hunter. I like it. I'm just disappointed in how you have to like connect with other people to play. That shit is
I
like,
had Monster Hunter. You need somebody to play with in that game too, man. I don't got nobody dedicated to play in that game with. That's why I put that game down.
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
it's the same. I got my opinions on
Yeah,
that too.
I played that game for like 2 weeks and put it down. Like, oh, okay, you need somebody to play.
Man, I wish you would have told me. I could have came
Yeah,
through with the
me
gun
too.
lands real quick.
Had
Oh
them
man,
dual
Yeah.
sabers.
the
Cyberpunk
difference for me.
could be a solo game because you can shoot people and shit. So that's why I like Cyberpunk a little better as a role playing game.
We could have been
It's okay,
together.
man. Well, hey,
Hunting the great
this
Pookie
category
Pookie.
soft too, man.
Oh man.
Is there so in that particular segment and moving right along? Oh, this is gonna be kind of tricky, and that'll be our nominees for most anticipated. And I just want to set the tone on this particular nominees is like, you know, for one, these games in this particular bracket should have been like the expectation of this year. Unfortunately, we'll get into that segment a little bit later. But as far as the most anticipated, this is kind of tricky for me because there's a lot of games that are really, you know, I want to say above the hype in terms of their previous installments. So, like for instance, God of War definitely set the tone on when it first re-released. Nobody thought it was gonna play.
Oh no, we lost Steven.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. No, it was like
Yeah,
technical difficulties, guys. We still on board. Just
He had a think for a second.
nah, man. It was just slight technical difficulties. Just
It's
bear
all
with me now.
good. It's all good.
So God of War, God of War was just, it was one of those games that it definitely reinvented themselves and reinvented that wheel when it came terms of action of adventure. They hit the story on all cylinders. The action, it was definitely different. More of a Souls kind of like hack and slash S type of style, but it definitely molds well and just formed and created a new different type of God of War. So people are just like hyped. They're like, yo, what's next? What's next? And then
better God of War.
What's that?
It's a better God of War. I would take this God of War over the old school God of War gameplay. I would definitely take this God of War back. This God of War is better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 'Cause it's just it definitely has that X factor about it. I can't really put my finger on it, but that's why God of War is just a very high anticipated game. But you can't exclude stuff like Zelda Breath of the Wild because Nintendo when it comes to their golden child, that is Zelda. It never ceases to disappoint.
No, it doesn't.
A lot of people discredit freaking what was it, Skyward Sword, and I rather enjoyed it. And the reason why people didn't like it because you have to interact with a lot of things. But when it came to just the basics of what Zelda really is, it definitely hit home. It had the story. It had the suspense behind all the puzzles and the adventure you had to go through to these to get these secret weapons and relics and stuff like that. And they just do the damn thing over at Nintendo, man. So you can't exclude them from the equation. And then, not to mention, their new IP that is Horizon Forbidden West, and I played a little bit of just a hint of Horizon. So, and what I've experienced so far with Horizon, I just feel like that was definitely a huge take on Sony in to even create something like this because now you get your kind of like your survival Tomb Raider type of feel to it. You get a lot of RPG elements of making your class better, and it's just something about Sony making story-based games to the best of their ability, and it just hits home with their fans.
Yeah.
So it's very hard subject for me. Between those three, I'm going with God of War because I like the God of War series throughout and through. I was a huge fan of the old hack and slash style, DMC style, where you had to do a whole bunch of aerial raves to get through and to progress to the boss, and so on for so forth. They amped up the storyline. The graphics are very crisp and beautiful, and there's very lot of like pixelated elements that just gives it that visually striking appearance. And just overall, the game is so well built. It's smooth. Yeah, it has a couple of frame dips when you're fighting the Valkyrie sometimes, but that's not too bothersome. And it actually, pumps me up with, with something like that occurring. But like I said, overall, I had a wonderful experience playing God of War, and I really think they're going to take home the gold of this year. And I'm going to give this particular topic over to Jay this time. What you think, brother?
This category is difficult. You got Starfield, Xbox exclusive. So, Xbox going hard for that one. Congratulations, y'all got y'all the Xbox game.
Shit, here we go.
Elden Ring.
You just go.
I don't know.
Here we go.
But I mean, I'm actually looking forward for Starfield. I want to see what that's about. I really want to see all the hype about that game. That game got a lot of fucking hype for some fucking reason.
Man,
I don't know what it's
Bethesda.
It got a lot of fucking hype.
It's Bethesda. It's gonna have some bugs.
Look, man, it's gonna be Skyrim in space.
In space,
that's all
that's
you need.
it. That is it. That's all I need to know. All I want to know.
Yeah, something to think about.
So hey, it's gonna be a blockbuster. If that's the case, it's gonna be a blockbuster. Congratulations to Microsoft and Xbox
with a whole bunch of bugs.
Studio.
That's what I said.
Doing what they gotta do.
It's gonna be buggy
We're getting tired of like Halo and Forza.
But I bet you it won't go through the hate that Cyberpunk received.
Oh no, it's gonna be
buggy.
It's gonna be some lovely bugs. We love these bugs.
Yeah, love these bugs.
Yeah. You already know that. Yeah.
I'm excited. Shit, I can't wait.
But Zelda, man, it might be. It's gonna be God of War because of popularity. I'm saying God of War, but my pick would be Horizon. I love Horizon. I actually like Zelda too. Zelda was kind of empty. It was too empty, man. Zelda was empty. Was nothing out there. Enemies like 5 hours away. So yeah. Other than that, God of War gonna win the category.
So far, it look like God of War just gonna win this by default, huh?
Man. God of War is popularity, man.
Can't really put my hand on it.
Horizon got high popularity too, but ain't God of War. Nothing on this list is God of War. Other than Zelda. Zelda maybe, but God of War gotta win this category, in my opinion.
What you think, Sarge?
Oh man, look, honestly, because I like Bethesda games, I know I'm gonna get Starfield. It's gonna happen. I gotta play it. Heck, I don't play it every Fallout.
You got a PC.
Yeah, I don't play it every Fallout. I just about played every Elder Scrolls games. I gotta play Starfield. It's gonna happen. Elden Ring, I'm not too big on the Souls-born games. I mean, I got Demon Souls and I'm working my way through, but I have to be in the mood to play those type of games. In that mood to be like, I just want to die and get better. I know I'm gonna die. So let me go torture myself for 5 hours. That I gotta put myself in that mindset to be like, yeah, I want to die today. That type of mindset.
Yeah.
Zelda, unfortunately, outside of like with Nintendo, outside of like Pokemon, I just can't rock Nintendo too much. Now, if it was like a whole Ocarina of Time complete full remake, yeah, I'm on that sucker day one. No ifs, ands, and buts. But the whole Breath of the Wild just didn't.
That experience kind of like, it diminished, huh?
Yeah, it just wasn't like the Zelda that I knew. So I guess that's kind of like one of those
on the 64.
One of those disconnects. Like,
empty.
Yeah. Now, God of War in Horizon. That's gonna be a slugfest. And that's just between two Sony studios. That is an internal slugfest right now to one up the other studio.
I'm telling you, something about those studios and making it's just something about Sony, man. They're just so driven on making fantastic stories.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you take Guerrilla, which was only known to do first-person shooters, and I'm talking about shit. No, I'm talking about even before Killzone. I'm talking about Shell Shock Vietnam.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was a Guerrilla game. So all they did up until Horizon was FPS, and then they dropped Horizon. It completely changed the mindset of everybody. Like, oh my god, you're telling me a studio that just exclusively did FPS games can actually do a decent open world RPG with a great story?
It blew up.
But then,
was amazing.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about the design, because they already had that on lock.
Yeah. But now you got Santa Monica, which we got God of War. Everybody knows God of War is the pristine hack and slash for PlayStation outside of Devil May Cry. It was just a good old gory revenge tale, right? How do you reinvent God of War? You kind of calm him down a little bit. Now he still got the rage, but you bring him back. You kind of bring him out of that need to just want to kill all the time, because he done what he set out to do. He's past that. So now he got to raise his son, and he doesn't want his son to be like him. But now you got to affect the gameplay or change the gameplay up, because we don't want to go into the next generation of God of War with the same gameplay we had since the PS2. Like, as much as I like those God of Wars, this God of War resonated more with me because it felt like a evolution. It wasn't just the same.
Yeah.
It wasn't just continuance of the same, which you see with
his combat, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It was just the fact that he felt so grounded. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really have to rely on, aerial combos to maximize your damage.
Mm-hmm. And what it did, it was like it introduced a new weapon into Kratos' arsenal. So when you eventually did get the weapons that we all knew and loved, it was like, I still rather use the axe, because this axe was dope. Like, yeah, I got the Blades of Chaos. They're great. I can snatch somebody, bring them over here, and I can finish them off. But I would rather use the axe, because I could literally throw that axe, pin somebody to the wall, go straight melee on somebody.
Yeah, melee.
Knock their head off, call that axe back, and hit the other sucker that's coming at me. So when you got that combat flow, I was like, bro, this is way better than what I expected.
Yeah, that's why I love it. You got two play styles with God of War. You play either style.
Yeah. And plus, you add in Atreus, he sitting up here like, oh, let me call out these wolves real quick. Wolves just going everywhere, tagging up folks, stunning folks. You up here calling down everything outside of Hellfire. I'm like, bro, when you really got into a fight, especially when you did that first ball, the first boss fight always sets up how the rest of the game is going to go.
That's true. Very true.
When you fought Baldur,
amazing.
And you got to throwing him around, he got throwing you, like, yeah, this about to be that game. Because they slugging it out. And it wasn't like this was a god versus a god. And it was like, dude was just cocky with it, like, bro, you can't hurt me, I'm good. Bam, 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 bam. I'm like, oh yeah, this about to be that.
Oh yeah, man.
So for me,
Now I want to play it.
I think what for me too for God of War was this like the game made you like, hey, you want to play this, and just binge the heck. Like I wanted to binge play it, just 100% it, the least amount of days possible, but you couldn't because it's so challenging. You will be challenged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But honestly, if I just had to pick my most anticipated, because it's going to be out of those two, I want to see how they get through with this Norse art of God of War. Because the ending of the first one left it open to where they could literally go anywhere after this.
That is also true.
And considering, the whole not backlash, but the whole people want to call out woke stuff, even though it wasn't really woke stuff, is like, bruh, it's mythology. You can make the motherfuckers any damn color you want to make them.
Yeah.
That's the point of it calling mythology.
And you had Angry Boda, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, did nobody pay attention to the fact that everybody in every other realm knew about all the other mythologies? So they knew about the Egyptian gods, they knew about the Chinese gods, the Japanese gods. They know about these other realms. So what's to say that this girl is not from the Egyptian realm, but is posing as a Norse god? What's not to say that they haven't started merging or crossing over to connect to the next God of War game? So that's why I'm anticipating God of War, because I want to get to the end to see what's going to be next. Because I swear to God, if they go to Egypt, and Atreus is like full grown by this time, he's going to take over. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you want to know what? I'm going to be cool with this because Atreus is going to open up. Atreus is going to open up brand new combat options.
The only reason I say I'm not going to be cool with this, because we already got Horizon. We got a bower. We need another bower. I mean, come on. We don't do this, Sony. Keep Kratos.
Okay, but listen. When I say you got to think about it. Who is Atreus? Atreus is Loki.
Atreus is Loki.
You're gonna open up a whole can of goddamn worms once he figures out what he can really do.
Okay, when they figure it out, drop the bow.
And look, and you've mixed that in with combat options. What if this motherfucker just starts making clones of himself and say, "Hey, go pick which one to me"?
That's mad.
That'd be nice.
God
of War game. It's not a God of War game. Without Kratos.
Control at one time.
I'm just saying. I'm thinking about the future. So for me, as much as I love Horizon, as much as I'm gonna play Horizon to the goddamn death, and I can't ride a damn Thunderjaw, I'm gonna be mad. It's going to God of War.
Yeah, definitely going to God of War.
Even though I want Horizon too. They definitely set the bar when they reinvented themselves. So now we got that out of the way as well. The question of the day.
Your brief pick?
What's that?
I didn't pick. You know why I stay quiet? I stay quiet on this because I became a PlayStation player after number one, I ain't played PlayStation. PlayStation 2 was the last time I played PlayStation.
Good Lord.
Then I went to PlayStation 4 2 years ago. So I bought PlayStation 4. And I have not played Horizon or God of War on any of the newer gens.
Hey, Bree.
Right. Hey. No, I have Horizon. I bought Horizon, and I bought it because I'm gonna finish it before February.
Go play both of them.
I am
Finish him.
gonna play both of them. I am.
Finish him.
I gotta do one thing at a
Finish him.
time. I got OCD. I keep
You're
telling
gonna be a PlayStation girl by the end of it.
I'm a, but no, I've always liked Horizon from when they first introduced it. I just never had a PlayStation to play it. And God of War, I'm gonna play it. I like the newer, more modern God of War than I do the old school PlayStation. So I know for sure.
Okay.
I'll say don't know if it will really be anticipated as much as possible Starfield, because everybody knows God of War already and knows Horizon already. Starfield is a new franchise in Bethesda
We got a
Games
lot of hype behind it.
and a
A
lot
lot
of
of
hype
hype.
and
It got hype
everybody.
like Cyberpunk had.
Yeah,
I
but
won't be surprised if Starfield wins.
It's definitely catching a lot of traction.
it is, but I'm saying that to say it's because everybody was waiting for another Skyrim to drop, waiting for years. They keep selling the same Skyrim special edition over and
Man,
over and over, and people
15
just
times.
keep buying it like something new is gonna happen, And
Yeah. Y'all stop buying games over and over and stop buying
and
Grand Theft Auto. I want Grand Theft Auto 6. That's another game to go on this list. I want
right,
Grand Theft Auto 6.
bring it on already. Shit, nah, bring it finished. God damn it, bring it finished. But
Yeah, give me a beta. I don't care. Give me Grand Theft Auto.
one says finish it, the other say a beta.
Shut up, Chris. Chris called me an X by head. I know X by head.
You are.
Anyway, no, I enjoy PlayStation. But I'll say, yeah, I do play a majority of my games on Xbox and PC. But I'm not a PlayStation hater at all. I grew up on PlayStation before I got Xbox, to be honest. But Xbox just took it anyway. I feel like Starfield is because it's what everybody's been waiting for, and that is another Skyrim. But now it's in space. We were just talking about this in group. There was a post about how someone really loved Outer Worlds, and it was like, Outer Worlds kind of reminds you of like Fallout or what Skyrim could have been in space, but just not as intricate, just not as detailed or thorough as it would have been. But now it's like, oh no, Skyrim, we want Skyrim, we want another game like Skyrim. Boom, here it is. They've been working on Starfield for a long time. And I like that they kept it under wraps.
So speaking of intricate, there was a space adventure game that I played when it first launched. It was called Elite Dangerous.
Oh man!
You talking about intricate? Oh my goodness! You had to get your own ship, pilot your own. You had to learn how to operate the whole ship. Yeah, man, this thing, and then like you had so many interactions. You're in space, like the possibilities are endless. This world was like vast. I didn't even know how large it was because you just don't have enough time to even put that knowledge into perspective because it's that large. So like there was one world I would go to, end up getting vacuumed into a black hole before. Got into a space battle with dogfights with pirates, space pirates and stuff like that. End up becoming a space merchant and buying and trading, bartering with people. And when I say it's intricate, oh my god! So like, definitely they gotta meet that medium, right? So they got a lot of things on their hands when it comes to making this new installment because they do have a lot of hype behind them, but I just feel like with the other,
they deliver games. Like they deliver real good storyline cinematic games.
They're gonna deliver. Xbox get a game finally. They're gonna deliver it. They're gonna hype it anyway. They're gonna deliver.
Bethesda's gonna deliver. It's like they deliver all the games.
It's gonna be Xbox new Halo,
and it's gonna be it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
say
played.
no
Like you ain't gonna be able to just get into this. They're gonna make you sit down and really get into this and make you want to go explore every single goddamn nook and cranny, like because you might miss something. I think Starfield is just because it's new and it's everybody's played God of War, everybody's played Horizon, everybody's played Zelda over and over. I ain't even going. Look, I'm gonna say this right now. You know why I left out Elden Ring? Because they invited me to play the goddamn playtest, and the motherfucker didn't even pop up. So I ain't even get to play that weak ass shit. That shit
Oh,
didn't connect. Oh
oh,
man, I'm sorry.
We still want the game free. So
Whatever,
yeah, Elden Ring
whatever.
will be a great game.
Nah.
We're gonna love the game. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna enjoy
I'm
the game.
not,
we
cause I
want to
didn't
play
get to
it.
play it when y'all invited me. I'm
Again.
not. Now,
No,
I'm
she's not,
not.
but I definitely want to play a game.
Me too. I want a free copy of the test.
Please.
It was a great game.
Cause they invited me and they didn't let me play it.
Send it to my email, jshetty@gamerholics.com.
There we go.
I'll take it.
Nah, I don't know about that now. I couldn't
This
play it when it
man
was
here.
beta. I'm waiting for Starfield. And I'm gonna start Horizon over the holidays because I need to finish that by February. So.
Seems like a serious long there.
All I'm gonna say now, Brieze, you about to see some representation in that game of some high quality African hair. Just saying.
Which one? On Horizon?
Yeah. Well, when I say they got that hair right, they got that hair right.
Yeah. I love inclusion. Make it make sense. I want to have. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm gonna play it. I'm excited for that.
Hold on. What's Saints Row at? What Saints Row in this category?
Saints Row is trash.
No. Hold on. Saints Row when they got goofy.
Yeah, they
felt trash. Yeah, trash. Saints Row 3, Saints Row 4.
Saints Row 4 was good. I had fun.
Saints Row 3. Saints Row 3 is manageable. Saints Row 4, it was just like, bro.
It was fun. It was a fun game.
It was
trash.
It was playable.
Yeah, it's playable. I got pretty far in it. I didn't finish it. I got very far.
I beat all of Saints Row 4. I thought it was cool.
1 and 2 still the best. 1 and 2 still the best.
Yeah.
Give me 2. Give me a remake of 2.
Yeah, 2 is definitely what's the bar for Saints Row. Put them on the map.
Saints Row 2 better than every Grand Theft Auto title in my opinion.
Wow.
2 is shit, man.
Even better than City?
Yes.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes.
It was really good. Yeah, that's why everybody was disappointed when Saints Row took that turn with 3. It was, even though 3 was good, people were disappointed.
Yes.
They didn't want to compete with Grand Theft Auto. That's why they changed it up.
Yeah. I think with this new installment, they're trying to go back to their roots.
No, they ain't going. They're not going back.
Nah. I don't think it's gonna be like Saints Row 4.
They are. The design's different, and they probably making it more serious.
No, it's gonna be like Saints Row 3.
No, I think they going back to 1-2 vibes because
hell no, man.
Like I think
everybody got tired of the goofiness. Like, bro, it's like where do we stop?
Right.
Like we going out here with dildo bags.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. I was saying, you shoot it, and everybody that's in the surrounding area is dancing, and when you stop using it, they all die. I'm like, what? This is bonkers. What the hell is going on? So yeah, I think they're gonna definitely, only time could tell. I'm still kind of somewhat interested, but my vote is going to still. So the meat and potatoes of this segment is, we come down to it, the game of the year.
Game of the year.
I have a couple of thoughts, but we're gonna get into that in just a second. My first representative is gonna be Queen Bree. What are your thoughts on game of the year?
Okay, so none of these games are games that I've played except for Psychonauts 2 and a little bit of Resident Evil Village, because I'm scary when it comes to zombie games and by yourself with like big females and all that. So I gotta take my time to that. I'm a little punk, but none of these games are my game of the year. I'm sorry, I really have no. I haven't played Deathloop. Deathloop didn't interest me. And I like, Bethesda, but that's Arcane Studios. I put that out. I
Yeah,
wasn't really into depth with the
was
story.
good.
I thought Psychonauts 2 was fun. The voice acting was great. I enjoyed that. I haven't played Ratchet and
But
Clank.
is it game of the year? Is it game of the
No,
year to you?
no, it's not Game of the Year. If any of these are Game of the Year, I would say it would be Resident Evil, just because
What?
of not the hype. I just like how it's spooky. It's like the play.
They did kind of
No,
bring back those
no.
elements
You
just a
know,
tad bit. But what I found about Resident Evil Village, it was very like dull and bland. It kind of
I don't think so. It was
I
okay.
I just like
Resident
the
Evil
puzzles.
8.
You have to. I think it went back to, you know, yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
liked it.
puzzles were great, but
That's my joy.
they could have balanced the puzzles out with the zombie shooting because it was a lot less shooting,
And
more of
more
suspense,
right,
which
more
is
suspense and more having to
yeah,
solve a problem. And like I'm saying that, yeah, it didn't go back to the first as far as the zombies are concerned, but just using your brain in the overall, having to think under high intense circumstances. You know,
right.
that I like games that trigger my thought process like that. So
Which they definitely hit home for in terms of like Resident Evil fans.
yeah, but
Uh, uh,
everything else
Sarge,
is not
what are
really
your
game
thoughts
yet.
on and opinions on the game of the year, brother?
Honestly, this is probably the weirdest game of
Weakest?
the year selection that I've seen in a while. Even though
Yes, it is.
two of the games on this list I really, really enjoy. It's like, and even though I enjoyed it, I'm just like, I don't see how, like, It Takes Two, I could see why it would be up there. But at the same time, I'm like,
Nope.
there were other games that were
Ow,
like, it's like, as great as that game was, it's like, is it really game of the year material though?
Nope.
Because if I could have swapped anything to put in that game of the year slot, I would have put Tales of Arise. Because that was a really, really good game that reinvented that whole series. Like you can only go up from there. Ratchet and Clank. Again, beat the game, platinum the game, love the game. It was a great showpiece for the PlayStation 5 hardware as far as the SSD and the going but swapping between worlds on the fly. That was great. But it's still Ratchet and Clank, so the only thing I'm guessing that they put it up there for was the whole innovation and loading times and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Psychonauts too, the little bit of time I put in there, I was like, okay, it's Psychonauts. I'm glad Tim Schafer finally getting some shine out here because he does make good games all the way back from Day of the Tentacle
Ah,
and
yeah,
Full Throttle.
yeah.
Like
Day of the
he's
Tentacle. I
always
still love that game.
he makes great games. They just don't get a lot of recognition. Heck, I still wish they would remake Brutal Legend. They haven't done it yet,
No, they
but
haven't.
Ooh, you talking about some classics, man. Ooh-wee.
I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like Tim Schafer games just like I like Bethesda games. And Deathloop, look, that's just Dishonored with more guns. Dishonored with guns and speedy runners.
Yeah, I caught the same vibes on that too. Because like you said, Bethesda and Arcane. When you think of Arcane Studios, right off the break, you think of Dishonored.
Yeah. So the moment I say now,
I chance because I love Dishonored series, by the way.
yeah. Now I will say the whole triggers and everything that was cool and the gun jams, but it's like okay, that's cool, but also when the game launched, everybody was giving it tens, and I played it for a little bit. I'm like, this AI is dumb as hell. So how are y'all giving this game a 10? Like, what's going on here? Like when I say they was dumb, you could literally shoot off around. They'd be like, huh? Oh, okay. Like, bruh, I
Yep.
know y'all just heard this whole shot whiz by your head. You just like, huh? Okay. So for me, it's a weird list. I can't say anything about Metroid Dread. Everybody that I know that played Metroid Dread has said they loved it. I can't speak on Resident Evil because I don't per se like the first person Resident Evil. I like more like Resident Evil 2, 3.
I played it.
Because I'm like I dabbled in 7, but I was like, it's something about games in first person that amplifies the stuff, and I'm kind of like Brieze on this. I can't really do horror games in the house by myself.
Yeah.
But now if you do it in third person, I can probably handle because it's more actiony. Yeah. But when you set that in first person, I start getting Outlast flashbacks.
Yeah,
and man,
oh my god.
Yeah, but that first came out. Oh my god.
Because the funniest story about Outlast. The night the PlayStation 4 launched, everybody was in the party chat. Everybody was watching the live stream. People playing Outlast. That was the funniest night I have ever heard because everybody was downloading it while laughing at the people playing it. Right. 30 minutes later, after everybody else started playing, we were like, "Nope, done."
Yep.
Like,
I was in that chat.
Yep. We were like, "Nope, it's done." Got to see Pixie. Got to see that big dude change. Like, no,
right.
Yep, turn that shit right off.
Got to go.
He's right about that. We played like what 5 minutes. Turn that shit off.
Turn that shit off. Takes time.
Like, look, that man didn't have no choice but to go in there to say it. So I was like, so I can't leave. Nope, gotta go. And they started doing all that nonsense. Like, yep, turn this off. We in the
chat with each other. Talking, still can't play the game.
Like, nah. So yeah. So yeah, this whole game of the year is kind of honestly for me, it's kind of a wash because it's just such a goddamn weird assortment.
Yeah.
But if I was really going to give it to one, I guess I have to give it to Ratchet and Clank just because hell, it proved what the PS5 could do.
Which is very true. And I'm agree with you on that, man. I just feel like these were just not the right picks at all. As far as I've played, probably like Resident Evil Village, and my take on that, I mean, again, the puzzles were great, but it needed more action. It just felt stale sometimes, man. So I can't really give it to Resident Evil right there. Psychonauts 2, like you said, as fun as Psychonauts is, he just makes really good games. Like you said, it's not enough recognition for his games. So I don't see how they're going to end up capturing the dub this year. As well as Metroid Dread, because although you get a lot of great expectations from reviews, I'm not sure if they have enough resources to actually get the W as well in terms of Game of the Year quality, because just the time frame of the history of Metroid, it doesn't intrigue me much. There's been way too many gaps for its legacy to continue. So out of all of this list, even with Deathloop, like you said, it's freaking Dishonored with guns, and that doesn't really appeal to me much, although I do like Dishonored, but this game just never stood out for me, and I never even appealed to it at all. And as much as this list, I think all of them are just trash at the end of the day.
Just trash. Everything's
just trash. Don't say they trash, but
yeah, trash, but they ain't Game of the Year to me.
These picks just don't appeal to me at all.
But they're not supposed to appeal to us, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not gonna appeal to everybody.
No, it's not. But I'm trying to figure out how they came up with this list, though. Like, I know Deathloop came off the hype train of them showing it every goddamn PlayStation little broadcast. Like every time they have one, like, please don't show Deathloop. Please don't show Deathloop. Like, god damn, bro. Tired of seeing Deathloop.
Poor as hell.
We know why Resident Evil's up there because of, big titty golf. We know why that's
because of the Guinness.
again, you have to have that Nintendo representative, so they were like, give it to Metroid. It's doing great. They
Right.
finally they gave Tim Schafer his due. Even though I do think they're gonna not give it to him. Even the game could be great. I haven't finished it, but I'm gonna eventually go back and finish it. It's just other games came out, and again, It Takes Two. As much as I enjoyed it, I don't really see it as super game of the year material.
What itch to even call it game of the year quality?
Yeah, it's like it's the most super niche game that you could have put on the list. And while I think it does deserve all its credit for doing everything that it did right, I just don't know how it fits in this category overall. It did everything right, so it's a technical achievement, but it's just like, man, did we really have that bad of a year that this is the list we have to come up with?
Yep.
Because I had a great year gaming, so what is going on?
So too, but this is just filler for me, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, but not.
Yeah, I'll wait till next year. It's gonna be a little more competitive and really see which
Headstrong, because this I don't know. I'm just not buying this list. I liked all the other nominees over the Game of the Year nominees, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the most anticipated.
I felt like that should have been the Game of the Year, but that's another year from now.
Right.
Yeah, but since we're on the Game of the Year topic, and since this was a hot topic whenever it popped up, as far as Forza Horizon 5 was concerned, because everybody was up there like, how could Forza Horizon not be considered a Game of the Year? I'm like, for me, I enjoyed Forza Horizon, but what did it do that Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 3 and 2 and 1, like, what did it do differently? You're still going to the festival, you're still doing your races, you're still in the open world, you're not really, like, you can't get out your car, you can't do activities outside, you just made it look prettier, but you really haven't evolved it.
Forza 4 DLC.
Yeah. It's like, okay, because what was it? I think it was Forza Horizon 3 that came with the Hot Wheel DLC. That was dope.
Yep. Yeah, that
was dope. So it's like, then you have 4 that came out the Lego DLC. So it's like, okay, you'll have that one goofy and one kind of, serious DLC. So I'm kind of expecting the same for Forza Horizon 5. But it's like, at the end of the day, yes, it reviewed well. Microsoft Flight Sim reviewed well too. But would you really consider it a Game of the Year just because it reviewed well?
No.
And that's my thing. See where you going at, and that's how I feel about it. Like, none of these games on this list feels impactful for me. Like, none of these games have any type of impact.
But they're not. But they're not impact game category, because there's a category for most impact games.
Yeah, but like, when you really look at Game of the Year quality, right? Impact definitely kind of falls under those parameters. You want something that you can actually remember. You know what I mean? And maybe hell, this is just probably my own bias kicking in, because like Sarge said, a lot of people fucks with Metroid Dread. From what I saw, I'm just thinking to myself, how this doesn't, because like, coming off of like the glory days of Metroid Prime, you just like, there's no way.
Right.
And then Psychonauts is nothing that we're too far off of. I admire Psychonauts. So, but it's pretty much the same old thing, just like with Forza Horizon. Although it's not on the list, obviously. And then you got Deathloop. Deathloop isn't really anything to remember its name about. Like, I don't see how any of these like make such an impact to them to win such an award that's so high up on notoriety.
Well, I will say, I can agree with Sarge here on him saying how Ratchet and Clank really captured what the PS5 can do, right?
Okay, yeah.
So
I'll give it to them then.
So it's like how in Psychonauts 2 is very fun to play, especially if you have next gen. Like, it's fun, just like I assume Ratchet and Clank is for PS5. You know what I mean? So how it flows with the technicality of the new gen, I feel that's why they pick these. Um, I haven't played It Takes Two yet, but I did play A Way Out, and that I had so much fun with that. And I just thought regardless of behind it was a prison setting, it was just like wow, you know, you can get out of there. It was tight how you could split the screen, you could see what your partner was doing. He has to do what he has to do. You have to do what you have to do. So the way that the creativeness and the technicalness of that, it flowed right in. So I can only assume like since it Takes Two is doing the same thing, especially the gameplay that I see. But you know, I haven't played Deathloop, so I don't know technically how it flows. Resident Village was pretty fun.
Well,
I'm not done, but
no, you're good.
gotta play in the daylight with the lights on. You know?
Oh, Lord. But I think
we gonna be playing Dying Light too.
man,
with the lights on, and you're
nah,
gonna be
look,
right there, and I'm gonna be screaming right in your ear.
look, here's the thing about Dying Light. Everybody was afraid to go out at night. Man, look, me and the squad got together. We was like, bro, we just want to run out here. We don't give a damn about none of these suckers. Because, you know, when you can do the weapon duping, we went over there and found Excalibur. We had like 15 Excaliburs apiece. We were just running through folks. We was like, night, eating, whatever time of day it was, we was out there in the field just murking
Yeah, y'all
folks.
was both
Yeah,
together.
it's pretty crazy.
It was times I was bold by myself. I was like, I ain't scared no more.
Because I wasn't. If I was right with
Look,
Stefan.
I see that sucker glowing over there. I would purposely pull out my M16 and pop him twice in the head. Like, come on over here. I'm ready to fight. Someone.
Like, oh, did he see us? He seen us. Did he see us?
But no, because when Steven said it's kind of like this whole year is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I look back to when it was God of War and Red Dead. That year was a slugfest. Like you couldn't deny either one of those winning Game of the Year because they actually were Game of the Year material. Because you look at Red Dead, you know, people say, okay, the controls are kind of funky, which I ain't gonna lie. On the consoles, those controls was kind of sluggish.
Yeah, 360. On 360, yeah, them
I ain't gonna front. The controls are kind of eh. But at the same time, the technicality that they put into that game, the thought process, every single little minute detail that they put in that game, on top of the story, on top of the acting, on top of the music, because God bless, when you sitting there riding and you hear, I think it was D'Angelo actually, singing that song with that group, it hit you in the feels because you just came off some real deep stuff. And you just have to sit there and ride through that and think like, bro, did that really just happen? Did that really just happen just now? Or when you ride up onto the plantation, or when you ride up onto the plantation, you just go up in there wrecking shop. Like, bro, you felt every single moment. But God of War was the same way. When you rolled up into a boss battle, when you did this, when you was interacting with your son, every single thing mattered, and plus the technicality on it was seamless from beginning to end. Like you literally start the game. If you played that game from beginning to end in one sitting, you did not see not single loading screen. Even though we know what it was because they were loading in the background, they had the cutscenes, but it was still so seamless that it was just like, what in the world are we doing here? So for that year, that was a slugfest. That was quality Game of the Year. This year is like, it might be quality, but it just don't seem right.
Yeah. Right. I agree.
And that's just where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, you got any thoughts on this, brother? Jay?
Trash.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
None of the games is Game of the Year material. None of them. They good
In
games.
other
That's about it.
No.
They all trash.
in other
Ratchet
words,
Clank is
what
Ratchet Clank. All this shit is trash. This is trash. This game year was a waste of time. Next gen to get no really good games to the end. Got Halo 4, your marquee games at the end. Other than that, this year was trash year, man. This year is horrible. Hopefully next year is better. Bring out some good games.
I blame COVID.
I don't blame COVID. I
No,
blame. I don't blame nobody. This is trash.
COVID set back studios on
I
production.
don't think so.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, maybe not this year, but a lot last year. So they kind of halted on like projects that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Shout out to quote unquote Division. I'm still waiting on for Division Heartland and my Division 2 DLC to arrive, and
Huh.
that has been a thing of the past for some time now. Very disappointed, but you know, going back to what I was saying, COVID was definitely deeply involved in their derailment. So whenever that comes out, I'll be waiting. But
Yeah.
you know, just to do a recap on all of this, you know, good stuff. So our biggest action pretty much goes to Back for Blood in my, you know, coming through a majority's vote. But then we going to our best fighter, which is an abundance of stuff. Nah, I definitely want to say Guilty Gear and the Nintendo pick, because you know, none of our representatives are fighting enthusiasts other than myself. Going into our best multiplayer.
But I beat you in
But
Killer Instinct how many times?
hey, let's not
How many times?
Killer Stank
oh,
ain't on the
Yeah.
list.
bro,
Yeah.
zero,
He's just like,
Lord Jesus.
zero. God damn it! Let's not start with that nonsense. Brother.
Hey, didn't we record that? We streamed that game. I swear we streamed
we-
that game
we-
one
we
time. We had a
streamed
tournament for that game.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we did back in
beat you guys.
2016.
I beat you.
We still have the results.
sometimes you just catch people on the off day. You know what I mean?
No. Keep going. Let's go.
Just catch me on the off day. You know. I didn't bring my A game. It's okay. We bounce back. We take L's too.
Hey, we can fire that back up though, man, and play for the group, man.
Hey man, listen. I haven't played that. I haven't touched it in so long.
The best fighter. You the best fighter in GX right now. Let's go. Hey,
Lord.
Hey man, if anybody wants to smoke, that's fine too.
Tekken 7 after boss 2.
Tekken 7.
We need to start setting this up, man.
I mean,
we need to start setting this up.
Hey man, they can
get Smash Brothers out too.
Hey, well, they can catch me on Halo. They want the smoking Halo right now, because that's just where I'm at right now. I'm on some Forza Horizon and some Halo. I'm trying to get my rank up.
I'm tired of beating y'all in Halo, man. I beat y'all in Halo so many times. I'm at Chief Collection. I'm tired of beating y'all in Halo.
Listen. Everyone smoking some Halo Infinite, I'm down. However, in terms of Killer Instinct, I heard somewhere in the woodwork they're trying to make another installment. They just haven't found a producer to make the intricacies of this game because it's so, you know, unique in terms of their combat system. So that's why
they ball on Killer
No,
Instinct.
I wouldn't say they the ball, but they did in terms of how they on their budget. I felt like Killer Instinct should have been more triple A type
they
of
got,
fight.
They got a A-list fighter on their side. They should cut production on that A-list fighter. Y'all got a top fighter. No way in hell they should not to take this long to come out with another list.
Season 3 was just very lackluster, so it didn't really age as good as it should have. Despite the numbers, which is like over 30 million copies sold, which is it's fairly off. I give them a round of applause for that. Yeah, but going back to just recapping everything. Before we head out from our first episode, back off from a long hiatus. Anybody want to speak their farewells or hold their peace?
Well, I thank you all for tuning in, and look forward to the next one. I thought that we flowed well. It was great. And I can't wait for the Game Awards so we can come back and talk about the disappointments of today. Because if the
Yeah.
show not fire, hey, we already know
Oh
the games
Lord.
is already trash. We deem the list as trash,
The
so we
list
not
is
expecting.
we used to call it.
We just trying to see if the show is actually going to be good. I mean, he's putting up
Yeah.
some good talent out there, so I'm hoping that the show will be good. Period. And,
Yeah.
I look forward to it just like I do every year. We will be co-streaming it, so if y'all want to tune in with the Discord, check in with the Gamerholics on the FB, um, on the Twitch. We'll be co-streaming the Game Awards, and you can head to the Discord after, talk about it if you like. We'll be shooting the shit about it, calling it trash. Also, join the community if you haven't. The Gamerholics, find us on Facebook. Hey, we gonna talk about it there, and I don't know how everybody
Yeah.
gonna.
I agree.
That's what I'm
We
gonna
Yeah,
on
say.
we on we on we on get better from here. So chemistry would get better. Everything get better. The flow would get better. Our whole thing would get better. Organized, it'll all get better. But like I say, I was a shout out. Rest in peace to Demigod. I know he would have been on this
Shout
show
out,
if
man.
he was still here. He would
Shout
have been a
out.
great
and,
guest.
Shout
and
out. Yeah,
shout and RIP to a legend there, man. Because it's
Yeah,
funny,
man.
man. I literally wanted him on this first episode with us.
you did.
Um,
Yeah.
and,
You did.
such a good soul that he is, man. This would have probably been a really big break for him. So, I mean, especially that he was a fair well up and coming streamer. He was definitely a Twitch affiliate. Um, he was trying to grow his YouTube as well. Something that he trying to capture, and it gave me the motivation to do so with this podcast. So yeah,
All
man, big
right.
up to you, my brother.
Demigod. All right.
Rest up.
Yeah,
Rest up.
yeah. Again, as Jay said, shout out to the brother Demi. That that was a genuine, all around good guy, and
Facts.
he was really on the rise. And it's just sad to see that he is gone because I remember our last conversation, just shooting the shit, and it was like, damn, that was literally the last time I talked to him, and I wouldn't have thought it until that day Tuesday, and all that came about, and it's just like, bruh, I literally talked to this man like 2 days ago, and now he and it's weird.
It's
It's
still,
weird.
Yeah.
brother. To be honest,
Yeah, it's like really weird because now when I go in that chat, I'm just like, he ain't here, and
Yeah.
I continuously wake up like, nah, I'm in a bad dream. That ain't happened. That didn't happen. And it's just like, bruh, it
it's that
happened.
same demi authenticity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that. That's why I'm just like, you know what? Instead of being like super down about it, I'm like, what would Demi do? Because I know him. He'll be up there cracking jokes right now. So I'm like, let me find some Demi approved memes and just pop them up. So
Yeah.
that's why I popped that Halo 2 meme with his Hank Hill with the gap. I'm like, yep, that's Demi approved right there. So,
Yeah, I thought that
but
was
yeah,
hilarious.
but yeah, shout out to my boy Demi, because man, that was my G right there. That
Yeah, man. We
and
going through.
I gotta redeem the Big Mama special from PSX 2016 by myself now, but I'm gonna do it in his honor whenever that happens. So
Yeah.
re- shout out to a real one.
That's what's up.
Is there anything you want to give us a recap on Queen B?
Man, ain't nothing to recap on. Real talk. That was it. To be real,
Yes, people. That's
R.I.P.
it. We dumped the show. The show is over. We getting out of
Yeah.
here.
I,
The show is over.
look,
It's done.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out.
Rock with us. That's
That
it. You
part.
rock with GH.
Yeah, shout
Thank
out
you.
to the
We
community over at
appreciate you.
Facebook, man. We 35K strong and growing, continue to growing. We definitely looking to expand our horizons over at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. If it's on social
OnlyFans.
media, we trying to tune in and tap in.
Shout out
With
to the
these things.
admins.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Shout
definitely
out.
to the admins, man. Y'all holding it
Hold
down
it
for
down.
us. Yeah, man. You keeping the community green, below the radar, stuff like that.
Okay.
We continue to grow strong and better every day. And with that being said, this is our Gamerholics podcast, and we are signing off, boys and girls,
And
ladies and gentlemen.
we out.
Peace.
We out.